Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Thing's saying I'm live now. Negro, you're cute, but nope, sorry. Welcome to the channel, by the way. But, no. If one person didn't die, it's pretty much Cap. So what's going on, guys? Gentlemen, ladies, children of all ages. This was an insane movie. This was an absolutely insane movie. So, spoilers, and yeah, AMA, in regards to this movie, feel free, ask me anything. I'm spoiling the whole damn thing. So, this movie basically starts off with everybody, scattered, of course. And Stark is hanging out with Pepper. So, yeah, Pepper's back. We saw her in Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man. Freaking Red Black Cane's got me on there. Spider-Man 3 was bad. Stop it. What do you call it? Pepper Potts is there, Gwyneth Paltrow, and she's, talking to Tony. It's like, you wouldn't have installed that. It's like, no, this is just for protection. It's basically all of his armor is inside this thing on his chest, and it's triangular, which is cool. I'm digging that. But, like the old Silver Centurion armor. Anyway, he's got the nanotech stuff in there, so he could just at the slightest whim, bloop, the whole armor just reforms. And there are amazing scenes in this movie with that armor and the nanotech involved in that armor. It's like, oh, some of it was destroyed, no problem. I'll make it so that I can't, I don't have armor on my legs, but my upper half has, like he looked like Madison Jeffries from the Alpha Flight. You know what I'm saying? Like the box armor, how it could just take things and just make gigantic, blasters and like, sickles and knives and things like that. Absolutely crazy insane. This is like bleeding edge armor as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't come out of his bloodstream, but almost, man. Like, this was nuts. He was treating it like it was a symbiote. It was just all over the place. And, of course, he could talk to it, so that helps. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't call it his other. But, like, this dude shone, man. He shone in this movie. Big time. So, again, guys, this is AMA. Ask me anything about the movie. It's yours. Holy crap. So, Thanos, like I said, was humanized, like me in the gym, all upper half. Dude, that's what it's like in Saudi, and no disrespect to anybody there. They just don't have a lot of really good coaches in Saudi, man. Like, you go to the weightlifting gym, and I'm sitting there like, I'll be on my legs day. I don't lift anymore. But I would go to the gym, and I'd be on legs day, and people are like, what are you doing? You have to do your upper body. And I'm sitting there looking, was like, you need to do your lower body, dude. You look like peg legs, you know what I'm saying? But your upper body's big. Like, what are you doing? Nobody needs upper body. Yeah, you kind of need a base. You know what I'm saying? You might want to work on your center also. Anyway, so, holy crap, dude. They waste no time in this movie. The first person to die is Heimdall. Heimdall does not have the soul gem. If you're looking for the soul gem, the only person who knew where it was Gamora, and we've never seen it. We've never seen the soul gem. There was no hints to where this thing is. Nothing. There was no soul gem hint in the earlier movies. So all that thought that we had, it's like Rey's parents. Nothing. There's nothing there. So, I know, still too soon, right? It's not cool. She should have had awesome parents. She should have been a Kenobi, and I agree. So, holy crap. So, a bunch of different people are, all over the place because, like, a whole bunch of random Asgardians get killed. Basically, Thor, like Superman's called the last son of Krypton? Yeah. The last son of Asgard is Thor. Like, even Loki gets snuffed in this. He's trying the best he can, man. And at one point, holy crap, wait, do we get the Hulk after? We do not. The only Hulk we get is in the very beginning of this movie. Because Loki gets a chance to say, we have a Hulk. And Hulk just jumps out of nowhere and goes at it against Thanos. And Thanos only has one gem at this point. One. Wait, does he have the second one by this point? It's right around here that he gets his hand on the second gem. I forget if he had it beforehand. Either way, he's got one or two of the gems. One of them is the power gem. You know what I'm saying? Holy crap. So, yeah, the first one he got was actually from Xanadar. Xanadar? Yeah, Xandar, where he gets, from the Nova Corps, he gets the power gem. So, holy crap, the Hulk jumps at him and just starts pounding. And the rest of the Black Order, the Cull Obsidian, they start, getting ready to move forward. But Maul, he's just the Ebony Maw. He's like, no. Let him have his fun. And that's when all of a sudden you realize they're not joking around. Dude, this guy, we did get a lot more Hulkbuster than Hulk Surprise. Yes, Michael Diaz, welcome to the channel, by the way. Yeah, we did. This guy right here, this guy is about as badass as you could possibly imagine any character to be. If the DC Universe is going to put Darkseid in, they need to stop everything they're doing, fix everything, and watch this movie and make Darkseid like this. Yes, for the first time in history, people are saying that Darkseid has to be more like the guy who was created after him. Yeah, because Thanos is technically a rip-off character of Darkseid. But at this point, Yes, Vicious X-Men, welcome to the channel. Captain America is one of the few Avengers, the few people in the universe that survive. I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked because in many ways I really wanted him to die only because he's my favorite character, and his death by in Ed Brubaker's run was just the most amazing scene in the world to me, especially after the Marvel Superhero Civil War, the first one. Unbelievably amazing. So Thanos beats the crap out of the Hulk. He beats the Hulk so bad that the only other two times that we have the chance to see the Hulk is when Banner's going, "Come on, Hulk, come out, come out," and Hulk appears in his face and he's like, "No!" and then he goes back in. Hulk got beat so bad he refuses to come out, like he's embarrassed at this point. Refuses. Yes, Captain America is genuinely my favorite character. Like, I grew up loving the Hulk when I was a kid. I had so many of the Incredible Hulk comic books. I had a lot of Superman comic books, a lot. But like when I was a little kid. But I would read a lot of the Hulk comic books, and then I would start reading Avengers comic books, and I'd be reading all sorts of different comic books. And so many of the comic books that I'd be reading were leading me towards understanding that Captain America was actually the greatest hero in the Marvel Universe, including reading Spider-Man comic books. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I wound up actually going to Wolverine for a while first, but Wolverine got a little bit boring for me after a while because, like, he's got these totally awesome claws. He should be able to kill anyone, but they never let him kill anyone. So because they kept him, because they held him back so much, I'm like, sorry. I'm going to go with Captain America right now. So yeah, Captain America is actually my #1 favorite character in the entire comic book universe. After that, sounds weird, I love Hawkman. Hawkman is just one of the best drawn characters ever. Amazing. Majestic. So, I know a bunch of people will be like, he likes Hawkman? Unsub. Sorry. I gotta be true to myself, my peeps. So, Thanos not just is a total badass in this movie, he is humanized in a way that I swear to God I never thought he could be humanized. I never thought that I would feel for Thanos, where I'm just like, oh. And I started thinking to myself, yeah, he's a bad guy, but Thanos is right. His methodology for doing this does not... I'm not going to pull... whatever. I'm going to drop my Kelix. Superman's Kelix robot. I got Mistress Death over here. She does not make an appearance. And I'm kind of glad she doesn't. Adam Surfer and... Adam Surfer. Warlock and the Surfer, do they make an appearance? No, they do not. Do not get your hopes up that anybody from the old X-Men or from the Fox property shows up. They cannot show up. I was hoping, I watched Midnight's Edge. I love that channel, and they've got Andre is I would love to have. What's up, Jeffrey Lane? I would love if there's a lot of people that people are like, oh, you should do a podcast with this guy or a podcast with this guy. There is one guy I would do a podcast with just about anybody. There's one guy that I would actually asked to do a podcast with, and that's the guy Andre from Midnight's Edge. That guy has all the news. I love his voice. I love the way, like the pacing that he does when he talks, and he's got great ideas. He's got ideas that I feel they're different from my own, but they're on par in their own way with my own. One of the things he says is that he was thinking that Surfer would show up in this because the reason why Marvel got the deal with Fox to buy all their properties, because Comcast gave a higher offer. They actually gave approximately $6 to $10 more per share of an offer than Marvel did. The trick is they didn't give a guarantee. So if the deal doesn't go through, if the deal goes through, Fox would have been better off going with Comcast. But there's always that chance that it might be reneged. That what do you call it? That the government, the U.S. government, might say no. This is a monopoly. This is not going to happen. We're not going to allow this deal to go through as is. In which case, with Comcast's deal, Fox gets nothing, which would cripple them and bankrupt them, because they can't keep on making movies just for the sake of conversation. What's up, Chris Scorpio? Hey, so yeah, let's talk about this. Tell me something. What movie have you seen that's better than this, Chris Scorpio? So, and welcome to the channel, by the way. So, so the reason why they went with Disney instead, who gave a smaller offer, is because they gave a $2 billion offer. They said, hey, listen, in case this doesn't work, here's a $2 billion guarantee. So all those movies you're not going to be making for this year while we're waiting for this deal to see if it's going to go through, you're going to get paid regardless. So they're going to get the deal, or they're going to get $2 billion from Disney. So that's why Fox went with Disney. They're a safer bargain. So Andre from Midnight Sun suggested in one of his podcasts they did, he suggested, hey man, what if Marvel, and it would have been genius if Disney would have done this, said, listen, as an act of good faith, give us the Fantastic Four properties back. Right now, give us the Fantastic Four properties back, hands down, and then we'll put in this $2 billion guarantee for, you know, for all this stuff. We'll up it from $1 million to $2 billion, you know, or $1 billion to $2 billion. You know, like something like that. That would have been good bargaining, in my opinion. At the very least, give us the Silver Surfer so we could do Silver Surfer and Galactus, right? They didn't. They didn't. I'm okay with it. Whatever. There is another appearance in this, though. And this is why in my non-spoiler review I said, if you're going to see any movie before you see this, make sure you see Captain America the First Avenger. The person who makes his debut, his re-debut, who comes back, who we didn't think he was going to come back, Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull. I lost my crap, and so many people inside the movie theater were like, oh, that was surprising. Did not expect that at all. Off-topic question, Jeffrey Lane. I have a, how would you put Spider-Man in the Venom movie? I wouldn't. He doesn't belong in there. Not that there's no way of doing it. He doesn't belong in that movie. We don't know if that movie's going to succeed or not. I didn't like the CGI in that movie. I liked everything about the movie except the voice, the other thing. Symbiote. That was weird. But, yeah, I didn't like the CGI in that movie, and a lot of the CGI in that was lazy. Like, you know, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and something out my back, and it's like, stop it, just turn to the Venom. So at the very end, they did give us the Venom symbiote. It was okay. It was actually, like, I got chills. I'm not going to lie. I got chills, but they need to do a whole lot better with CGI. I don't want to see Tom Hardy's face. I want this to be like Judge Dredd. Even in this movie that we're talking about right now, Avengers Infinity War, there are too many scenes where they're fighting and Spider-Man's taking off his mask to show Tom Holland, and Iron Man's taking off his mask, his helmet, to see Tony Stark. It's like, you know, Robert Downey Jr. I don't need to see that. I need to see people with their costumes on. That's what I need to see. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get it with those two characters specifically. I didn't really get to see that. Alright, Thanos, dude. Thanos was as badass as you can imagine. Thanos was also humanized. We saw Thanos cry in this. I have friends, I have people who sub to my channel, and we talk, and I know I'm about to go and see Jim Starlin and try and get him to sign some of my books. Just one. I just need one. I don't need to, break the guy's arm signing a bunch of books. I just want one book made out to me, made out to Professor Bill at Comic Book University. I don't plan on selling the book or selling his signature. I want it for me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm about to go meet this guy, and I'm going to tell him, like so many people have told him, I don't think anybody can write Thanos like you. I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm not going to say that anymore, even though this sounds blasphemous. All right, this sounds sacrilegious. It is what it is, dude. This version of Thanos cried. This version of Thanos was humanized. This version of Thanos had regret, and this Thanos was everything and more than I could have possibly imagined. I could not write Thanos better than this. Jim Starlin has never written Thanos as good as this. It's very different. There's going to be the hardcore fans who are going to say, this is stupid! And I can honestly say, I think that every single one of them will come around. I believe that every one of them will come around. Thanos was written so amazing in this. Black Bolt versus Thanos would be great. Yeah, I agree. It would be cool. I mean, Thanos is going to destroy Black Bolt. It is what it is. But it would be cool to see. You know what I'm saying? But first you got to build up Black Bolt. You know what I'm saying? There are some writers in the Marvel comic book universe, like Jim Zub. I talk to Jim Zub, whenever I can. I don't want to bother him, but I've told him, several times, like, dude, there are very few people who could write a character like you. And when you write a book, like with a team, every single person in that team gets a moment, gets a highlight moment, and damn, it's good. Ed Brisson is somebody who, when he writes a comic book, he writes it and the characters are so believable, so real, so amazing. Like, he wrote Sabretooth better than anybody I've ever seen write Sabretooth before, and that was in the recent Iron Fist run, which just ended last week, by the way, but Sabretooth was in there, and it was amazing. And then I see this movie. And I think the Russo brothers should be writing comic books, if they want to take a huge pay cut. But holy crap, they wrote a great Thanos. Or whoever was writing this. They directed a good Thanos at the very least. This movie was absurdly good. Yes, Gerald, I'm not going to try and pronounce your name, but brother, yes, this movie was unbelievably good. And like I said in my non-spoiler review, dude, there was a lot of humor in this. Not as much as in Thor Ragnarok, but the humor in here didn't feel like it was overdone. And plus, the humor that happened in this movie, it was, without saying, is that moon scene amazing when he throws it? Dude, it's crazy. And what Tony Stark says to him afterwards, he says, you throw another moon at me, I'm going to lose it. I'm like, holy crap, Robert Downey Jr. But that's what I'm talking about. You get every single character has a moment to shine here. Dude, Groot gets a moment to shine. Rocket gets a moment to shine. Drax gets a moment to shine. And more than one, for all these characters. Like, nobody, I'm trying to think. Rhodey gets moments to shine. War Machine. Everybody gets moments to shine. The Dora Milaje, more than one of them. Moments to shine. And it's so good. So good. But Thanos talks, and I'm like, damn, Thanos is right. About the humor, though. The humor is so necessary. It's so necessary because this movie was so damned dark, dude. This movie was like, oh, yeah, Ebony Maw was really good. Ebony Maw was amazing. Like, the way that he was killed, it was because of another pop culture reference from Spider-Man, which was awesome. Okay, there's this really old movie called Aliens. That's actually funny because I believe today is actually Aliens Day. So that was perfect. That was perfect. I saw that, I'm like, get the frick out! That was a perfect place. So he, the hole in the side and got sucked out. That was cool. I'm like, is he coming back? He ain't coming back. That was badass. Spider-Man didn't actually kill him, but he was responsible for it, so that was awesome. But, like, so much of this movie was dark, man. Like, Doctor Strange being tortured was sick. Seeing the Hulk get pounded was sick. Seeing Heimdall get killed was sick. Seeing freaking, who got killed next? Seeing Loki have his neck snapped was like, they just killed. And it was after he went and gave his speech of who he is. And, like, it worked so damn well after Thor Ragnarok, man. It's just worked so well. Peter Dinklage's role. Did y'all see Peter Dinklage in this? He was the biggest character in the freaking movie. That was sick. He played Ed Treery in Niveladir. And that's cool that Niveladir was actually a planet instead of a plane of existence, where Niveladir is actually both in Norse mythology proper and what do you call it? The comic book mythos for Marvel. That's actually where all of the elves are. Excuse me, the dwarves are. There's Svartalfheim is where Alfheim. Alfheim is where the elves are. Svartalfheim is where the dark elves are. Like what's his face? Malekith and Curse. You know, like that's where Curse in the movie, but not Curse in the comic books. He was actually human who was changed. Don't worry about it. There's Jotunheim, there's Niflheim, there's Muspelheim. There's all these different planes of existence. Here, it was actually a planet right next to a dead star. You know what I'm saying? So forged in the heart of a dead star. Like, yeah. Oh, Stormbringer made an appearance. Beta Ray Thor did not make an appearance, but Stormbringer the axe did. Yeah, that was amazing. The handle made by Groot. I'm like, oh, get the heck out. No, he did not. So in Stormbringer is just a little bit of Groot. He takes the two heads of that axe. Should have been one. That's just weird that it's two heads. And he forms himself into his own version of Jabari wood, basically, from Wakanda, and he makes his own version there. Footloose was never the greatest movie. That was a funny freaking moment. That was a funny moment. Oh, yeah, is it still the greatest movie ever? Dude, it was never the greatest movie ever. Seeing Star-Lord and Tony Stark fight each other was awesome. That was awesome. That's a scene I don't remember ever seeing in the comic books before, and I didn't realize how much I wanted to see that. That was great. What, are you guys working for Thanos? What do you mean are we working for Thanos? Are you working for Thanos? Wait a second. Who is your master? I'm talking about who's my master? You know, so like that was just, oh, that was crazy. That was so good. You know, okay, stop or I'm going to shoot him. You stop or I'm going to shoot him. No, you stop or I'm going to shoot him. I'm going to kill all of you guys. I'm going to shoot every single one of you guys. Yeah, well, we're going to start with this guy right here. Just do it, Quill. I can take it. No, you can't. Like, there's so many great moves in here. But why? Why was it necessary? Okay, Civil War was amazing, but I think that Winter Soldier, yes, good, there we go, top 3, absolutely. I don't want to try and, depict which is better, this movie or Winter Soldier, but like, Winter Soldier was its own movie, and it was just like, where did this movie come from? But yeah, like the Russo brothers movies, Joss Whedon, man, I love you, brother, but like, this movie blew anything that Joss Whedon has ever done right out the water, and like, can you imagine getting punched in the head and you're falling and then the Flash or Quicksilver so fast that he's beating you up as you're falling? That's what this movie did to anything that Joss Whedon has ever done. And yeah, like the original, movie, I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers. Oh, right here. I am Groot. That's what I wore. Dude, oh my god, the humor in this movie was so necessary because it was such a dark movie. I don't know about you guys. In fact, you guys who saw the movie, please tell me, did you see this also? When the movie was dark, when the movie was playing and it was really dark, were there several scenes where you audibly heard many people in the theater crying? Where you actually audibly, with your own ears, not in your mind, heard people crying, over your own sobs? And then when the movie suddenly came on, when the movie turned off and the lights immediately came on, because that's what happened with us. It wasn't even like a dim on. The movie went black and then the lights came on. I was right dead center in the entire movie theater. Dead center. I couldn't have been more in the middle of the movie theater. And I looked all around and I swear to God, every single person was crying. Every single person was trying to, like, pick up the 3D glasses and, rub off a tear, act like it was something else, looking away, looking down and whatnot. And I'm just like, I didn't care that I got tears coming out my eyes. I'm looking around like, okay, now I can't see, but, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, oh, you too. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, yeah. Oh, hey. Fine mamas, how you doing? Crying, huh? Yeah, everybody was crying. There was not a dry eye in the freaking house. There's also... Hold on. Rodrigo, what's going on, brother? Hulk afraid of Thanos after Thanos bested him. He didn't even best him, dude. Best him is like you're going for an arm wrestling contest and you got a chance and it's just like, I gotcha. No, Hulk didn't have a chance, dude. And then the whole plot around Ruffalo and the Hulkbuster suit, that was pretty cool. On Space Level with Guardian of the Galaxy, no way. That was really cool. Thanos looked really good compared to the trailers. Yes, he looked even better than he looked in the trailer. And the trailers didn't look bad, but in this, like, oh my god. Now that I think about it, now that you mention that was really good freaking CGI, dude. Chris Scorpio, best comment in the theater after the ending. Well, we still have Ant-Man. That is good. That would have been good. No, dude, we just had crying. That would have been a really good thing for somebody to say in the freaking movie, man. Mike Hawk, Hulk got bodied. He did, dude. Like, I've watched hockey games where people got, like, I've never seen somebody get just body checked the way the Hulk got body checked, dude. That did happen. Yes. Dude, man. At the very end, when Thanos actually does the snap, the finger snap, and it looks like he broke the gauntlet, but I guess not. But when he does that thing, dude. Yeah, War Machine was actually good in this. He wasn't compromised or taken over. His suit wasn't compromised or taken over. True. Oh my god. Also, all of us who were comic book fans who got to read the original Infinity Gauntlet. You remember when and I just did the Infinity Gauntlet, not explained in a minute. The Infinity Gauntlet, a spotlight on story, Infinity Gauntlet. I did one like a half hour or 45 minutes, whatever, for the prelude to that, and then I did the actual Infinity Gauntlet. It was an hour and 10 minutes where I just explained the entire Infinity Gauntlet comic book. All 6 issues plus every single one of the tie-ins and the aftermath, all of it in order. I just did that last Saturday, so go check out Spotlight on Story, Infinity Gauntlet. I will try to attach it to the end of this if I can, but whatever, it is what it is. Anyway, we'll get to the comments in a moment. Dude, when you just saw everybody dying, like when Black Panther went, it's like, oh shoot, no they did not. Like, everybody's just like, holy crap, he's dead, she's dead, he's dead, holy crap, when everybody's dying. But then the thing with Peter Parker, dude, when freaking Spider-Man died, like, in Tony Stark's arms, it was literally like, and he's just like, Mr. Stark, I don't want to die. I'm like, holy crap, I lost it. I freaking lost it, I'm about to lose it now. Holy crap. That's the moment where I'm just like, okay, could somebody please make a joke? Could somebody please make a joke? That Ant-Man comic book would have been, comment would have been, like, perfect. Holy crap, I really could have used a joke right there. We needed levity. And then that scene at the end, there was never a better tribute to someone in the comic book industry than that moment there. If you remember the end of the Infinity Gauntlet, when Thanos decided to just let everything go and just become a farmer on that deserted planet, and he just sat down and you actually saw Thanos smile. He was content just being regular. That was just like one of the most beautiful moments in comic book history to me. And this, it was similar to that. It was akin to that. When Thanos won, that was absurdly good. That was just way too good. I lost it, like, just so good. The end credit scene is what I'm going to get to right after this. So I hope they don't kill Thanos in the next one. Wasted like Killmonger. Wasted like so many of the characters. Yeah, I agree, but look at freaking Red Skull, dude. Oh my god, that was crazy. But that's the thing, though. See, that's the thing. Also, really quick, I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this with my wife. I did the spoiler review for Black Panther with my wife. But one of the things I'm pretty sure I mentioned was it's okay that they killed Killmonger, because Killmonger has died twice in the comic books and came back logically. Unlike most other characters who come back, it's like, how did you come back? Things happen. Prepare to die. They just, brush it off. No. Killmonger came back with very good reasons, very obvious ways. So I was okay with Killmonger dying, because they could easily bring him back just by copying off the comic books. I'm not worried about that at all. At all. So, but I got you. The Star-Lord Jesus joke, that was actually pretty good. Ned got a really positive reaction in the Brandon MB Theater. Ned, I don't know, what are you talking about with Ned? Gerald, I don't know what you mean there. Jeffrey Lane, would you have went for Spidey fighting the symbiote in this movie, and at least the ship going to Earth connecting to the Venom trailer? No. Not, dude, you gotta understand, man, I don't believe in the Sony movies anymore. I just don't. Marvel doesn't want to have anything to do with them, and most of it's because of freaking Avi Arad. Hey, I'm Avi Arad. That Avi Arad is one of the worst human beings in the world, because, I understand selfishness, I understand the idea of looking out for number one, I get it, but there's also a limit. There's a limit where you're actually bankrupting a company, or you're just a vulture, just destroying a company, simply so you could get, he's like the Gordon, if he were richer, he would be like the Gordon Gekko of, from Wall Street, of the Marvel universe, the Marvel world, the real life Marvel 1218 world. He's a horrible human being, he's not that brilliant, but just like Kevin Smith and so many other people say, in Hollywood, you always fail up. You know what I'm saying? Because the Hollywood execs don't listen to the fans. The Marvel Universe does. Kevin Feige does. They do. But most people in Hollywood, they don't listen to the fans. They look at numbers. They look at, sales. That's what they look at. So, yeah. According to, what's his name? Avi Arad, he's like, dude, the best movie in the entire, whatever, the Spider-Man universe was Spider-Man 3. And because it made the most money, and I was involved in that. That's what Avi Arad goes around telling people. And it's like, dude, Iron Man 3 was also the number one Iron Man movie as far as sales figures are concerned. But it's because it built off of the other ones. You know what I'm saying? The first one, which was great. The second one, which wasn't necessarily bad, but the third one was horrible. You had two amazing Spider-Man movies. The first one, two awesome Spider-Man movies. The second one, in my opinion, was even better than the first. But then you got the third one, which was just a horrible abortion of a movie, and really? But he wants to sit there and say, yeah, because of sales figures. No, dude, you're an epic fail of a human being. When Black Panther died, I literally said, yeah, I don't blame you, dude. I'm like, you're kidding me right now, right? Because I thought that Ayoke was going to die. I thought she was going to disappear, but it didn't happen. This is why they shouldn't have killed, was it Ayo or Anika? I think it was Anika. No, it was Ayo. One of the two, I forget which. But one of them was in, if you remember the Captain America's Civil War, when Black Panther was going to his car with Natalia. Natalia Romanova, the Black Widow. And then it was Ayo or Anika who was there. I forget which one of them. That Dora Milaje, she's like, move, or you would be moved. He's like, this is a fight I would like to see. Yeah, me too. But she actually died in the Black Panther movie, which is like, dude. So seeing Okoye and Black Widow teaming up was awesome, but I kind of rather had seen Anika with Black Widow because of the that confrontation that they had, and I'm really sad that why can't I remember her name right now? Anyway, I'm really sad that Nakia didn't show up in this. I was really disappointed that she wasn't in this movie. Like, she was sorely missed as far as I'm concerned. I like seeing Letitia Callista? Anyway, Shuri. I liked seeing Shuri in this movie, and she proved that she was smarter than Bruce Banner, which I thought was awesome. And I'm really hoping she has that confrontation with Stark, where Stark can get a realization that she's actually smarter also, because Stark needs his ego in check. Hulk Banner doesn't really need an ego check. Stark needs one bad, and he kind of got it with Doctor Strange, which was awesome. Him and Benedict Cumberbatch together was amazing. That was great. Wow, that was good. Love this movie. 2 hours plus. 2 hours and 40 minutes of pure entertainment. Yeah, dude. Can't wait for... wait, Infinity War came out? You're funny. Nice one, dude. Yes, yeah, today was the first day, at the very least in Canada. It's out today in Canada. I'm an American who lives in Canada, dude. Do you think people will be mad at the deaths weren't like in the comic book? See, that's the thing, though. That's actually the thing I wanted to mention before. They kind of were. Did you see how Mantis and, what's his face? Dave Bautista, Drax got killed? Well, not killed, but the first time when they got stopped by Thanos, Drax got turned into a bunch of blocks, a bunch of bricks that broke open, and Mantis got turned into ribbon, and her eyes were still open, like, oh crap, what's going on? With the reality gem. That's like what happened to most, Nova. Richie Rider version of Nova. He got turned into a bunch of kids blocks. What happened to Drax the Destroyer? I forget how he was killed. No, Drax wasn't killed. Drax wasn't killed in that. Neither was the Hulk. But Thor got turned into glass. Wolverine got turned into, his bones got turned into rubber. You know what I'm saying? Scott had the Cyclops. He had the solid block of force around his head. He couldn't breathe, even with Doctor Strange's breathing spell on them. Like, there was so many wild deaths in that, And this was, yeah. They did have some interesting scenes in here that, like, me personally, as a huge comic book fan, it tickled my fancy more than enough. I didn't need to see them all die that way. This was perfect, in my opinion. I believe they did finish with the, finish filming Infinity War, which is a darn shame. But, the next, Avengers 4, I think they did finish filming that, and if they did, I don't know how they would put in any of the other characters, but I would love to see it if they added some of the Fantastic Four, universe in there, like Silver Surfer or something. That would just be so absurdly good. What's up, Matthew Stoner? How you doing, brother? Let's see, make sure I don't try and miss anything. Gerald, my girlfriend told me all along that Hawkeye wasn't in the trailers because he wasn't in it. She was right, like always. Your girl's always right, man. Just let that one go. Yeah, he wasn't in it. He was mentioned, though, so that was enough. But he did show up on the set, so that was interesting, right? I was expecting him to pull a Goliath, even though we're going to have Bill Foster. He did play Goliath in the Kree Skrull War in the Avengers comics. So I was actually expecting, because they kept on saying, Ronan, Ronan, Ronan. I expected he was going to play Goliath, so we can actually do something more than shoot a frickin' arrow. Whew. Jeffrey Lane, I have no faith either because of Avi. Yeah. But it's like I always give them another shot. Yeah, like we keep on doing that, and I've gotten to the point where I'm not giving them another shot. I will wait to see what other people say about the Venom movie before I actually go and see it, and I'm very critical of it. Like I said, that trailer that just dropped a couple days ago gave me chills at the very end when I got to, when I'm hearing the voice talking to Brock. Like, dude, nice, but there was too much in there that I just didn't like. So I'm not getting my hopes up at all. Oh, allergies I'm actually being hit by allergies. Shoot, that's what it is. I recognize that feeling. Okay, I got an allergy pill here. This is how Shuri becomes the Black Panther, Queen of Wakanda. Oh, TK Dawes, that's actually a good point. Also, I don't know if you guys know this or not, unless you're like really big on the comics like me. That was just a really weird one. I think I'm too anxious. Usually I don't even need water, and now the water just made it worse. Oh. Ah, get down there. Okay, that was really weird. Anyway, I think I'm alive. I think I'm alive. One more of these. Sorry. So, what happened? Blah, 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 blah. Crap, what was it just? Oh, Shuri in the comic books was actually, she came back. She's back now in the Ta-Nehisi Coates run of Black Panther. But she actually died in the comic book. She was killed by Proxima Midnight. So when Corvus Glade showed up in there, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? I don't want Shuri to die. But when I saw that Proxima Midnight showed up at the borders of Wakanda, I wasn't paying attention to Obsidian, Supernova. Oh, Supernova wasn't really in this, was she? I didn't even notice that. But anyway, Black Dwarf, like when he showed up, I'm like, okay, cool. When I saw that Obsidian Maw was actually still there, I was like, okay, interesting. But when I saw Proxima Midnight there, I was like, holy crap, they're gonna freaking kill Shuri, aren't they? I was like, they didn't build her up enough, dude. You can't just kill her. Don't freaking kill her. So that was really messed up. But yes, if I actually saw her in that, I had a chance to see Kenny Washington. Kenny Washington? I think I'm forgetting his name. Anyway, the guy who originally drew the first time of Shuri in the Black Panther costume. I was supposed to meet him on Free Comic Book Day. It looks like I might not now, which is really messed up. Not cool with that, but whatever. I'm going to meet a couple other really cool people. What do you call it? So, anyway, yeah, so I was really worried when I saw her there. Okay, so, Jeffrey Lane. So, with this ending, how do you think Avengers 4 will work out? I don't know. It's hard to even say, dude. Like, I don't know exactly how it's going to work out, but obviously they're going to have to, like in the Infinity Gauntlet, I have to go by canon. I have to go by what's in the comic books. In the comic books, everybody got jacked up. But then Doctor Strange was able to rally the rest of them, and they were able to go after them and actually take things out with Nebula, who was actually instrumental in that happening. Doctor Strange died in this one. He's one of the people, half the people of the universe disappeared. So I don't know. I would have expected that, what's her name, Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts would have, because she still technically got that extremis in her, you know what I'm saying? Technically. But I would have expected that if Tony Stark would have died in this, that she would take on the rescue armor. She may still, and I wouldn't be disappointed in that at all. But we'll see. There's going to be enough people. I'm sure that there's going to be more people who are going to show up. Adam Warlock might show up. Who knows? But we'll see what happens there. Mr. Freak, did I watch the movie? Yeah, of course. It's fine giving spoilers for the movie, brother. Jeffrey Lane, what are you saying then? I'm all in. From what you're saying, I'm all in? Yeah. I read the Infinity Gauntlet comic books, yes. The Infinity storyline was radically different. I'm trying to get my brother up to speed now. Nice. Ivy Vandershire, he's actually going to do it. Such a great line. Which part was that from, Ivy? He's actually going to do it. I'm trying to remember what who said that and when. What was the context of that line? Jeffrey, are the rumors of Blue Marvel and maybe Lawrence Fishburne and Will Smith? What? As Blue Marvel? Please don't let that happen. Okay, Goliath is going to be... Bill Foster, who is the original Goliath, is going to be played by Lawrence Fishburne. In fact, the trailer for Ant-Man was played before this. And yes, you did get to see Lawrence Fishburne's face. It was definitely him. Furious from Boys in the Hood, man. But yeah, he was actually in the trailer and everything. So yes, he will be playing Bill Foster. No doubt about that. I'm hoping he's going to, actually get to grow, at least by the third movie. Maybe we'll actually see Goliath. That would be awesome. But we'll see. Either way, I don't want Will Smith. I'm sorry. Will Smith... The only person who has less acting talent, in my opinion, than Will Smith would have to be Ice Cube. Ice Cube's got that face. Whether he's happy, sad, he always does the kind of. It's like, that's Ice Cube. He writes a really good movie, but come on, man. Like, the same exact acting every time. You go to see the movie just to see the Ice Cube face. But Will Smith, he's been in some really great movies. He's had some really great scripts. 7 Pounds will always be one of my favorite movies, and In Pursuit of Happiness always be one of my favorite movies ever. But for the most part, nah, dude, it's just Will Smith. Like, I'll never get, I Am Legend out of my head. Horrible acting. Horrible, terrible, ridiculous acting. What do you call it? Some of the other movies he's been in. I don't even want to make this about Will Smith, dude. No. I do not want to see him as Blue Marvel. I want to see if they're going to get a Blue Marvel, this is something that has to be understood. This may sound weird. I don't know if I actually want to see this guy in there, but you got to get somebody with this mindset. I wouldn't be too upset if I were to see Neil deGrasse Tyson playing Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel is one of the, Adam Brashear is one of the smartest men in the Marvel universe. So besides being ridiculously powerful, he's one of the most brilliant scientific minds. And he is also older. And I know that Neil deGrasse Tyson could use to lose some weight, but he's a really tall guy. And he's as smart as they come, dude. So having Neil, to me, I don't know if he can act, but I listen to his podcast all the time. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see Neil deGrasse Tyson work out some of that gut. You know what I'm saying? Build up his arms just a little bit and put on the right suit and see him as Adam Brashear. Seeing him beating people up, seeing Adam Brashear beating people up, the Blue Marvel beating people up, is always fun. But the best Blue Marvel is just him talking and, making people understand, you know what, you're right, because you're unbelievably smart. You know what I'm saying? So that alone would work. And then just get stuntmen for whatever else. That's what we need. I don't need to see Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Alright, I'm going to get a word a day calendar, and I'm going to learn a bunch of good words. Dude, you're great. He's a DJ, I'm the rapper is always going to be one of my favorite albums. Well, there's actually 2 albums in one. And I actually have the LPs. But I don't need to see Will Smith trying to play a smart guy. Can we actually get a smart guy to play the smart guy? That's what I would love to see. Get Neil deGrasse Tyson, dude. Cast him now, alright? What do you call it? So, I don't... Carl Manvers, really? What do you call it? Disrespectful. At the same time, anyway, I love Captain Marvel. I'm not a huge fan of what Margaret Stohl does with Captain Marvel, but Margaret Stohl is an amazing writer, just not for comic books. She's great in the young adult. Obviously, she's won awards for being a young adult writer, but she's just not great yet with writing comic books. Yet. Give her time. I'm sure she'll be good. Regardless. And as far as the art, whatever. I've seen bad art before. The end credit scene is actually Captain Marvel. We do not get to see her. We do not get to see Brie Larson. Okay, but what happens is we get to see Colby Smulders as Maria Hill, and we get to see Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. In the very, there's no mid-credit scene. There's only one after-credit scene, and it's literally after all the credits. And it says, what do you call it? It's them driving, and all of a sudden an SUV crashed in front of them. And they get out and they're ready to fight, but they realize there's nobody in the car. What's going on? And then helicopters and things start flying. It looks like The Rapture. You know what I'm saying? Like all those Left Behind movies. It's crazy. Yeah, half the theater leaving. I'm just I'm done. I wanted to scream out, "You're all stupid," but it would have come out like, "You're all stupid," because it was so freaking sad. So I just let it go. What do you call it? They get out there and they're just like, "What's going on?" And all of a sudden, Colby Smulders starts disappearing. He's like, "Oh no!" So he pulls out a device and he starts trying to set up a key button, and all of a sudden he realizes that he's starting to disappear. He's like, and he pulls it to his other hand, and he's trying to finish the key as he's disappearing, and just as his head almost disappears, he says, fuck, like that, and then it stops. He doesn't actually get to say the word, or he's like, "Mother," and it stops right there. So that was perfect. That was literally Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Cage, as Nick Fury, or Nick Fury as Samuel L. Jackson. Either way, if you remember the original Ultimates comic books from the Ultimate Universe, that's exactly what we wanted. That's exactly what we wanted to see. But he just at the end, right before he disappears, like the rest of them, he's just in enough amount of time able to push the button of this thing, and then falls down, and we look, and it says dialing, and then we're looking, and like, dude, I swear to God, I've got great peripheral vision. I can't see far to save my life, but I've got great peripheral vision, and not just me, everybody in the movie theater is leaning forward because we know this is going to be important. And it zooms in, and you see connected. And then you see the Captain Marvel symbol on the star, the 6-pointed star-looking thing, or is it 7-point, whatever it is. Anyway, the Captain Marvel star and the red, red on top and the blue on the bottom, and the star itself is yellow. And not enough of us, but enough of us, like myself included, were like, "Oh crap!" like that. And then but what is that? What is that? And then a bunch of us are explaining that's Captain Marvel. Brie Larson's gonna be playing her. That's the next movie. Like all this crazy stuff. And really? Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, you thought Wonder Woman was good? Now let's see if Marvel did Wonder Woman, all right, who could blast lasers out of her hand, well, concussive beams. You get the point. That was awesome. And then at the very end it says, Thanos will return. Such an emotional roller coaster ride. This was such an amazing movie. Holy crap. Let's go up. I can't believe they all died. Davies action figures. Hey, Davies action figures. Yeah, I got a couple myself. In fact, Davies action figures. Hey, do you know anybody who's got that Spider-Man, punk rock Spider-Man, who'd give me the right arm for the lizard? Because I would really appreciate that. Okay, moving on. What is this? I can't believe they all died. What else? Just saw it. What do you think about the Red Skull moment? Yeah, that was Bushan. What's up, dude? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, dude, that to me, that was like the biggest, OMG moment. You know what I'm saying? The oh crap moment. Because, like, I heard the voice, and I'm like, I know that voice. Because, like, the Nick Fury thing at the end didn't surprise me. Because I was just like, oh, Nick Fury, that's his voice. It's going to be, yeah. And then they showed it, and everybody's like, oh, I'm like, y'all don't know Nick Fury's voice. Y'all know Samuel L. Jackson's voice? But when I heard the actual, I just said his name not too long ago, Hugo Weaving, I'm like, okay, it's either V for Vendetta or it's the Red Skull. And either one I would be happy to see. But, yeah, it was the Red Skull. I'm like, this is so amazing. This is so amazing. Like, I was upset hearing that Hugo Weaving didn't want to return. But him returning for this, like, I just want to give the dude a hug. That was awesome. Like, it's literally one of those moments like, thank you. Thank you, Hugo Weaving, for not being a total jerk. For actually coming back and doing this. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was just a voiceover and it wasn't actually him there and he just did the voiceover, whatever. Thank you for not leaving us fans behind, like a Natalie Portman would. It is what it is. She screwed us over with the Jane Foster. She screwed us over with the Padme Amidala thing, the Queen Amidala thing. So it is what it is, man. Jeffrey Lane, if it was up to you, at what phase would you introduce the X-Men and Fantastic Four? I feel like I would just do a complete and total reboot of everybody at that point. These guys can't keep on playing these characters. You know what I'm saying? Like I would love it if they could. I would love it if they would never get old. I would love all of that stuff. But by the time they're ready to make those movies, and by the time that we're ready to forget about everything that's already happened, and all the drama that's happening around, like, the New Mutants movie, and all the drama that's happening around the Dark Phoenix movie, all of that stuff, dude, like, everything bad about that movie is being said right now. Everybody's saying those movies are horrible, which is really sad. Like, reshooting the whole movie practically because they can't leave the movie crappy. So honestly, dude, I don't even know. Maybe could we go through an entire phase 4 and wait until phase 5? Maybe. We wouldn't have to do it with the Fantastic Four though. But I think that, like, how do you introduce somebody besides Anna Paquin as Rogue? How do you introduce somebody somebody other than James McAvoy or Patrick Stewart as Professor X? How do you just introduce somebody new as Wolverine instead of... Because, I was never a huge fan of Hugh Jackman. I'm a huge fan of Hugh Jackman, but not as Wolverine. He's got his moments. He's a great actor, but I'd rather see somebody of the appropriate height play Wolverine. Wolverine being 5'3" is more important to me than having him Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. That's more important to me. But it is what it is. I never thought of Neil. I'm glad I can make you think. I didn't think about it until you guys said something. And who do you think? When Marvel goes cosmic, the fans will follow, or should they be more down to earth again? Dude, I'm willing to follow Marvel into wherever, man. I'm willing to follow them into whatever. The one movie that I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, they're never going to be able to make this work, was Thor Ragnarok. When I saw Surtur and he was a total punk in the beginning of the movie, and Thor isn't taking him seriously and stuff like that, I'm like, this is stupid. But then it was so good. I'm just like, okay, fine, Marvel, you won. You won me over. Jeez, fine. I don't need to see the Walt Simonson version of Surtur. I'm good with this version. It's good. Wow, so amazing. Okay, Captain Marvel is being set up to be the MCU Superman, and she should. She absolutely should. At the very least, to be the Wonder Woman. I'm honestly of the opinion, if they're gonna argue with Wonder Woman, that's the way to go, dude. That absolutely is. Matthew Stoner. Not sure how I feel about about Death's absence in this movie. I know how you feel. I know what you're saying. To me, the relationship between Thanos and Death is always a significant part of the comics. Yes, it 100% is. But this version of humanizing him, I am so surprised at how good that was. I was not expecting to like this. I swear to God, I went into this movie thinking I'm going to hate this version of Thanos because I know they're not going to put Mistress Death in here. It wasn't built up. But, yeah. TK Dawk's Ms. Marvel is going to be used as the Silver Surfer. I'm hoping not. Do you think Adam Warlock will be in part 2? I'm hoping so. And did you see Thanos in Soul World talking to Gamora? Yeah, that really was sweet. So what did you have to give up? Everything. Yeah, dude, I knew that Gamora was going to be the one thing that he was really attached to. I knew that. But I was not disappointed at all when they actually went with it. So good. Do you think they will kill Thanos? I'm afraid they might. But hey, think about this. If they did, you remember how Thanos came back in the comic books? Mistress Death brought him back. So I'd kind of be okay with that death too. Because that would be kind of cool. That's when all of a sudden he got his relationship with Mistress Death. So I would be okay with that. Dude, seriously, in Kevin Feige we trust, man. This isn't Ike Perlmutter doing this stuff. This is Kevin Feige. So, and if you want to know all the Marvel movies that weren't so great, like Iron Man 2 and especially Iron Man 3, that's Ike Perlmutter who did that, not Kevin Feige. So, not to be a noon, I guess you mean a noob, no worries, but is Captain Marvel that great? Never really heard of her. No worries, dude. I have every Tuesday and Saturday I put out an Explained in a Minute character. I have another character that I planned on doing for this Saturday, 2 days from now, but I get the very distinct feeling I'm going to have to put out Captain Marvel Explained in a Minute. Now, the really hard part of that is every Saturday I also put out a Spotlight on Story, where I talk about a storyline for the character that I will typically discuss on Saturdays. So what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do is delay both of those, find a new Spotlight on Story to do, and just record that, which is going to be really freaking hard to do. It's going to be really hard to do, but I think I can. And I think I'm going to make Captain Marvel Explained in a Minute for Saturday. Because, a lot of people will do, a 20-minute explanation of a character. And that's fun and all, even if you know the characters. Is this person going to get all these key points, whatever. I'm not really doing this for the huge fans. What I'm doing this for is the people who say, like you said, Jeffrey Lane, people who are like, who is Captain Marvel? I've never really heard of her. I like to explain characters in approximately a minute, sometimes up to 3 minutes, depending on the importance of the character. But like I've explained Thanos in about 2.5 minutes. Just all you have to do is in a YouTube search, look up Explained in a Minute, Comic Book University. It'll bring you to my playlist and a whole bunch of my Explained in Minutes. I've got like Plastic Man was the first guy I ever did, believe it or not. I've done Thanos, I've done Adam Warlock, I did Kismet or Aisha, however you want to call her from the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I did a bunch of the original Guardians of the Galaxy. People are like, who did Miley Cyrus play? The character name was Mainframe. There are 2 versions of Mainframe in the movie. I explained both of them in that one video. So in approximately a minute, so that if you come out of a movie theater and you're like, who is this character that everybody's talking about? You can, go to Comic Book University and look up and say, oh, Professor Bill explained that character. And inside of about a minute, you will have a very basic understanding of who the character is, where the character first appeared, who created the character, the basics of the comic book origin and things like that, and a good feel for what the character can do power-wise and, talents that they have. So you'll have a good base. And then if you want to read more, go to a Wikipedia page and go to, whatever you want. Or go to the other guys that are out there who will talk for 20 minutes about a character and with a lot of The only videos that I ever really heavily edit are my Explained in a Minute, because I want to be concise and quick so that it's done. So that literally, in approximately a minute or two, you will be able to understand who so-and-so character is. Come on in, Bagel. So, yeah, that's what I try to achieve there. So, I think I'm going to have to explain my cat in about a minute. No, whoa, you're shedding a little bit, bud. Hello. Hello. Do I smell like popcorn? Yes, I do. Cheap, crappy popcorn. I'm sorry I couldn't take you to see the movie. Oh, my little kitty. You want to walk around? Okay. So anyway, let's continue with a couple more of these. Typo. Noob. Yeah, I figured it was noob. Crap, just jumped. No, Captain Marvel's not that great, but they are replacing the character. TK, I'm going to slightly disagree with you. Sorry. I believe that Captain Marvel is a great character. If you're only reading like the recent Captain Marvel stuff, yeah, she's not that great. And there was a really dumb storyline with her, a story arc, I should say, in the Avengers back in the day, where she technically became pregnant with her own son. It was horrible writing. And it just is what it is, man. Somebody thought it was going to be a revolutionary genius idea, but no, it was dumb. But they did make her come back, and they did make it better than ever, realistically. She is a very awesome character. She, in fact, the reason why Rogue has the superpower, not her absorption, but in the comic books, why Rogue is able to fly and why she's super strong and, invulnerable to bullets and things like that, is because she actually absorbed half of the powers of Captain Marvel. Yeah, Carol Danvers, that. So that's where a lot of her powers come from. So she's the only character who realistically, until recently, she permanently absorbed her powers. But Captain Marvel actually came back. She was in the X-Men stories. She's that all-red character called Binary also. She's able to absorb energy and redirect it and become powerful enough to actually go toe-to-toe with the Phoenix Force, for a little while at least. She is unbelievably powerful. She's a very strong character. She's a great female role model. She's an awesome character. Again, it just depends on who's writing her. And they gave the character recently to Margaret Stoll, who is not a comic book writer. Well, wasn't a comic book writer, and just she's not doing a great job with the character, but it is what it is. Would have been great to see Hela. Yeah, I agree. That would have actually been pretty fun. Mark Guerrero, do you think Wolverine will get his own trilogy? Yes. Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that he will get a trilogy in the upcoming MCU when they're doing him. Matthew Stone, I read somewhere that there are big plans for Thor after Infinity War. Yeah, I kind of hope that's true also, because they really picked up the character, and I feel like Chris Hemsworth really enjoys playing the character right now. You know what I'm saying? Because they're writing Thor in a much better way, Star-Lord going back and forth with Thor. So what art thou doing? And such, like, are you making your voice deeper? I always talk like this. You are making your voice deeper, aren't you? I always talk like this. That was funny. Oh, wait, was that what was said above? Shoot. I'm probably going to screw up by going up there and looking for it. I can't find where it was. Sorry. I think that's what was actually said earlier. Anyway, Fabisho, hello, how are you? Sunny Sun, the movie is more than 2 hours. 2 hours and 40 minutes. And totally worth it. Campus giveaways. What's up, dude? So back to TK Docs. I can see Adam Warlock being in part 2. Yeah. Actually, plus, what's his name? Not J.J. Abrams. What the heck is his name? James Gunn. James Gunn actually had a lot to do. He was actually given one of 3 different executive producer credits on this. So, if that's the case also, he's going to have some input in the next movie. He actually had his brother in this movie also. I don't know who he played, but he actually, once again, got his brother to play in the movie again, which I think is pretty cool of him. So, that's awesome. So, yes, he specifically said, why isn't Adam Warlock in the rest of the MCU? You know what? After credit scene, I'm putting him in the MCU. So I could see him being put in this also. He absolutely should be. If they do kill Thanos, Chris Scorpio says, it would be great to see an end credit scene, Hela meeting him in the afterlife, foreshadowing his possible return and their possible relationship. Yes, because in the Unworthy Thor comic book, they actually started a relationship because he moved on from Mistress Death. So that actually could be pretty cool. Which is weird, though, because she technically answers to Mistress Death. While Mephisto and Satanish and all of those are actually Hell Lords, she's not really a Hell Lord. She's partially Hell Lord. She's mostly a Death Lord, which makes her more powerful than Mephisto. He wasn't created from the Demiurge, was that his name? Yeah, she wasn't created from the Demiurge like Mephisto was. She was actually created very differently. Excuse me. So, Jeffrey Lane, reason why I ask is because the only Marvel characters I read were Spider-Man, the Hulk, Venom, the X-Men, Fantastic Four, that's a good one, X-Force, Cable, Wolverine, Sabretooth, the only ones you ever read. Black Panther, Werewolf by Night. You read Werewolf by Night? That's awesome. So, and I don't see Moon Knight in there, even though that was where his first appearance was. And Ghost Rider. That's not really an only. That's actually really good. Plus, sorry, I didn't see Thor in there. That's kind of a shame. Fantastic Four is where most of the cosmic beings had their first appearance, or where a lot of characters had their first appearance. And Thor is where the origins of those cosmic beings were actually explained. So, like, Silver Surfer, Galactus, first appearance. Fantastic Four. The origin of Galen of Ta, who became Galactus, was in Thor. Adam Warlock, first appearance, Fantastic Four. Origin and a whole bunch of, like, what kind of powers he's really got. Thor. Yeah, that happened. You know what I'm saying? A lot of characters like that. Angry Burp TV, what's going on, dude? I like her better as Miss Marvel. Yeah, back in the day, I hear you. Yeah, and I'm not feeling what she's doing with Alpha Flight right now. I'd rather them just be their own team. Red Black Kane, what's going on, dude? Not worthy of that much power. We're going to just politely disagree on that one. Plus, you're a lot more critical of the comics than I am. I just enjoy reading a good comic book, and I'm not looking for a specific story being told. I'm just looking for a good story to be told. That's one of the differences between me and a lot of other people is I don't want to tell them, I want to see this in my comics, and I want to see this in comic books. I'd rather, dude, just use your own discretion, but tell me a good comic book story. And I feel that if you're not a comic fan, then you can't really tell a good comic story. So, like Chelsea Kane, she's a great writer, but I think that she really messed up a story. And I'm going to try and explain that more on a Sunday. I think Sunday I'm going to actually do a discussion, a topic, and give you my feelings on Chelsea Kane's exposition on Mockingbird. But for now, boom, Jeffrey Lane. And I read Captain America, nice, and The Punisher, and Hela should play Mistress Death. They could absolutely rework that, yes. They need to make a Hulk movie with the leader and set him up in the Incredible Hulk, or at least have Ross take the serum to become the Red Hulk. That would be good. Here's the thing. They're not going to do that. Universal Studios holds the distribution rights to the Hulk. So Marvel made a Hulk movie because they thought that it would be a good movie to tell, a good story to tell, and it was. It was actually a pretty good movie. It was better than the Ang Lee version, but they didn't make any money off of that movie at all because they didn't have any control of the movie. They made the movie and they released it, but it was up to Universal to distribute it and to therefore make the money off of the distributions, including DVD sales and everything. So Marvel, unless they somehow work out a new deal, which I don't think they can, but we'll see. Unless they can work out a new deal, we will probably not be seeing another Hulk movie. It's simply not. That would literally be like giving money to a charity. You know what I'm saying? Like, however much it costs to make a movie, imagine giving that much money to a charity. That's a lot. It would be a charitable movie. That would not be cool. And Universal Pictures would make all the money off of that. That's absurd. Why would you just, and so that charity, why would you give that charity to another major company? It doesn't make sense. Matthew Stoner, I want to see the Avengers and Fantastic Four take on Doctor Doom. Yes. And Kang, if they choose to do more Avengers after 4. I think they will. And yes, even though they have the rights to Kang, they can't use Kang until this Fox deal goes through because Kang is inexorably tied to Nathaniel Richards, the father of Reed Richards, and also Immortus. So those two characters are permanently tied to Kang. That's why while the Fox universe cannot use Kang, they can use Immortus and Nathaniel Richards, which is why we won't see Kang. We can't see Kang legally in the Marvel universe until that deal actually goes through. TK Dogs, off subject, but I was thinking High Evolutionary. I would love to see that for Guardians of the Galaxy. I would love to see the High Evolutionary. Yes, he would be a great character, especially for Adam Warlock. Jeffrey Lane, I also would love a bit of Bill Bixby type road movie about the Hulk helping people. Yeah, why not, dude? I don't know if that would work this day and time. I love Bill Bixby's Hulk and Banner. I agree, 100%. Sunny Sun, your favorite character in this movie? My favorite character in every movie is Captain America. He had great scenes in this. Plus, when Captain America showed up on the scene, approximately midnight in Corvus Glaive, were like, we're about to kill the Vision and Scarlet Witch. And then they looked up and they're like, who is this silhouetted character? And it was the Captain America. It was that scene that we saw in the trailers. I'm like, oh, and everybody in the movie was like, oh, shoot, like that. And I was like, I'm not used to people loving Captain America the way that I always loved him because I read the comic books. Most people, to be honest, most people did not read the comic books. I'm not even talking about the people in this chat. Most people in the world don't read comic books, but enough of the people in this world, clearly by the sales, see the movies. So seeing, like, I love Chris Evans. I would love to just, like, shake his hand and give him a hug, if he's cool with it, because, like, that dude literally brought my favorite character to life. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Mackie too, and he just has so much fun with the Falcon. You know what I'm saying? So all of that stuff. Yeah, Downey Jr. is great. Also, like, everybody's really great with their characters, but yeah, making people love Captain America like this, that can't be easy for the former Human Torch to do. I'm just saying. Jeffrey Lane, in Captain America the First Avenger, who was the Human Torch back then? And you think they could do an old school 1940s Namor and Human Torch team up? That would be cool. They didn't have an original... Oh, actually, no, excuse me. Captain America the First Avenger, yeah, they didn't actually have an actor playing the original Human Torch. That's, what the heck is his name? Jim Hammond, right? I think Jim Hammond is the name of the original Human Torch, the android, the synthezoid. He was the first synthezoid. The body that was used became the Vision in the comic books. Yeah, Jim Hammond, yeah, that is his name, and Toro. They just had a wax statue to play that, but yes, that would actually be very cool. I would totally dig seeing something like that. Call it something else. Call it the Invaders. Dude, make an Invaders movie. And then I don't know if you can actually have Namor in the movie or not because, again, those rights for Namor as a whole are completely messed up, but it is what it is. But if they were to make an Invaders movie, why would you not make an Invaders movie? I would be down for it. Captain America the MCU is what Superman should be in the DCU. Yes. DCUO? DC Universe Online? I like that game too. I'm messing with you, dude. I'm totally messing with you. Yes. It's actually the DCEU when you're talking about the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the DC Extended Universe, DCEU, when you're talking about the DC Universe movies. But I know exactly what you mean. You don't like Namor? That's cool. Namor is a special kind of taste, but Namor does have a lot of potential. Like in the right storyline, in the right writer's hands, Namor is one heck of an imposing figure. Just insane, the kind of things that he could pull off. Okay, so I'm seeing the end there. I've seen a lot of people come through. We kept this at like around, 22 people watching now. I think on average it was about 24, 25 people, which is freaking awesome. I love that for a live stream. It's hard to do that with just my Saturday podcast stuff, but yeah, I go live every Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Toronto or New York time. So yeah, and I just talk about everything, mostly comics related, so that I will also talk about movies or whatever, but I'm not going to give spoilers for, because that just wouldn't be cool. But anyway, yeah, and then Comic Book University, dude. I give every Tuesday and Saturday an Explained in a Minute, where I will explain a comic book character and make people's lives nicer, you know what I'm saying, who don't know the characters so well. And I will also do a spotlight on story, so a story arc where somebody's introduced or a really cool story arc to explain a character. I'll do that every Saturday also. It's literally just me sitting down talking about a comic book arc or a graphic novel, and then having some pictures to accompany and whatnot. And I give you like insight onto the creators and what they were thinking and all that stuff when they were making these comic books that eventually wound up becoming movies usually. And then I do comic book reviews all throughout. I also review Krypton on Wednesdays, and on Fridays Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as they come out. And I just talk about in general comic books on my channel. That's pretty much what I do. So, what's this? Love Namor in the 80s, especially when he went against Thing or Hulk. Yes, that was always fun. I also liked his battles against Angry Bird TV. I also like his battles against Hercules. Those were always very interesting to me. I loved seeing that. But yeah, he was actually responsible for the return of Danny Rand, Iron Fist, in the 80s. No, sorry, that was in the 90s. That was actually in the early 90s. Jeffrey Lane, I'm going to go see the movie tomorrow. I muted every time you talked about the movie. What? I have a great channel. Thank you, Jeff. Wow, that was a lot of muting, because this whole thing was supposed to be about the movie. But anyway, thank you so much. Seriously, guys, thank you so much for showing up. I genuinely, in my heart, appreciate when I have this kind of interaction. I could just talk, you know what I'm saying? You can probably tell. But I enjoy being able to answer questions instead. I want to see the Sentry and the Defenders in the MCU. I agree. I'm hoping that we see a Sentry. You know what? That's the story I've got to tell, so I got to get to work on that. You're talking about Bob, what the heck is his last name for crap? Bob Reynolds. Bob Reynolds, the Sentry. You'll probably see him up there on my wall, the figure. If I pull him down, I'm going to knock over too many of my figures. My 6-inch Marvel Legends figure. But you're talking about him, I know. But there's also the Sentry robots that are huge with the Kree. And what do you call it? Captain Marvel is actually 25%. Carol Danvers is actually 25% Kree DNA. That's actually where Agent Coulson in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, that's where he got that blood transfusion from, so that he could live again. Tahiti. It's a magical place, right? So the Kree are very important in the Marvel universe and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, all of it. So yeah, the Sentry is actually a machine. It looks like a Sentinel. The Sentinels, the evil robots that kill the X-Men and all mutants. The Sentry is very different, a whole infinitely lot tougher. They also have a lot to do with the Inhumans also. So look, I love the Inhumans. I know it's weird to say since that horrible TV show came out, but I love the Inhumans, and by introducing Captain Marvel, that's going to really introduce the Kree, and I would love to see that they actually introduce the Inhumans to the cinematic universe. And I would love to see Vin Diesel, who was actually as Teenage Groot in this, I would love to see Vin Diesel playing Black Bolt. That would be great. Because how perfect would that be? What a great circle of life that would be. Right now, he's playing a character where it's just his voice. We can't see him. But if he's, as Groot. But if he's playing Black Bolt, he's a character who we'll see all the time, but we'll never be able to hear. Otherwise, we all die. So how cool would that be, right? Like literally full circle in the Marvel Universe for Vin Diesel. That would be perfect. Thank you for the cast and the comic book information. Anytime Angry Burp TV. Love seeing you around the channel. Jeffrey Lane. I also suspect an Avenger is a Skrull too. Yes, because Captain Marvel is going to introduce the Skrulls apparently because this will take place back in the 90s, which I think is kind of cool. So yes, one of the Avengers might actually be a Skrull. Wouldn't that just be messed up? I hope it's not like the cartoon we find out Captain America's a Skrull. That would infuriate me. That would infuriate me. Anyway, it's probably a Black Widow. Like, who else, right? It would probably be Black Widow, but we'll see. Anyway, that's going to be it for me, guys. Again, thank you so much for showing up. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. I'm going to go get some sleep. I'm late. Did any new characters debut? No, but a lot of old ones did. Go and check it out, Jason Anderson. The TV show killed many of the Inhumans' chances. Yes, I agree. Winter Soldier Skrull. That would be hard to pull off, but they could. I don't want to see Bucky as a Skrull. Anyway, okay, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed. Thanks, everybody.